officially.
Yes. Hebu tubadilishe kidogo.
Members are present that have not introduced themselves. There are two of them. Yeah. Laikipia and other stakeholders who are confined here today. And first of all, this is a commendable job, and we need such a leaders. If you can guess, who used to speak like that? Build capacity. Building capacity for that you're not left out. With the campus to travel to Nairobi for the same. So let's sponsoring this program through the coordinator, then you will be able to deliver a message that the country. You have just started with Nanyuki. I know there will be a lot of demand today. God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, after this now we shall direct a keep it and then we shall process to opening of the plate. Yes, we need a group photo for the group photo. So I think the photographers are ready. Let us have the governor, the deputy, all our guests, so they can have a group photo for all of us. For posterity also, I think it would be good if we can all, we shall not stop, don't even. Quite nice, well done. Well done. Director. Yes. Terrible like it.
Nini ingine utampea? Nini ingine?
Tuliona tungeweza kuita mkutano mkubwa wa wananchi kwa sababu lazima tuwafikie. We already have 2 other campuses in other counties, Kisii and Kajiado, and in Nairobi. And this being a national institution, we want to expand our horizons to all parts of the country. And we are glad here today that the governor of Laikipia and his government have goodwill in us and have accommodated us here. So we wish to develop here. This is not the end. We are also looking forward to moving to Busia, the border of Kenya and Uganda. Most of the road contracts that are taking place in the country, you hardly find our youth on them in terms of employment, because you'll find the skills required in these road projects are not found, for example, in the youth in the area. So you either have to import labor or even from other countries, which is not good. We have such programs as cobblestone paving, as we have highlighted here. It is one of the common ones, which is labor intensive. We need, and it employs a number of youth to undertake it. That's the benefit, actually. A large number of youth are involved, and it's cheaper than the tarmac you see here. And those are some of the programs we will start with here. At the same time, we will also be training contractors who are involved in maintaining the roads in the area on certain standards and concepts which are required to be applied in that maintenance and development. A common one is performance-based contracting for road maintenance, which contractors maintaining roads here must know. So it will be a requirement that for such a contracts to win tenders from road agencies to do that maintenance, they will require certificates, or they will have qualified from KIBIT and show for it with a certificate.
Which empowers 16 institutions in the region to be more like centers of excellence in certain thematic areas. Now, KIBIT has been identified as a center for highway technology and all road-related programs. And under this project, one of the components is outreach, whereby we want to expand accessibility to the programs. It's one of the project development objectives. And Laikipia County is one of our first outpost sites that we want to start functionally working from in terms of extending our outreach. Initially, we were only based, like you've heard, in Nairobi and Ngong and Kisii. But we've identified at least 2 or 3 other sites that we want to establish training bases like this for the purpose of actually increasing accessibility to the skills that are required for road construction. And we are targeting people from the ground. Like Director has said, Director KIBIT, many times we find when road programs are being done, contractors mostly import the labor and the youth, especially on technologies like the one Laikipia wants to adopt, which is cobblestone. So our task in it is actually to come and build capacity together with the contractors so that the youth can be empowered enough to actually be engaged in this project. So it's also kind of a community empowerment program. It shall extend also a bit to the region, but the first thing we're doing is to reach out to the county, because we are aware that the county governments are running a lot of road programs all over the country. And it's important that this investment even trickles down to the people in the areas where these roads corridors are passing. And that is one of the agenda. This campus is supposed to address this particular region, not just Laikipia. We are looking at Isiolo, we are looking at Marsabit, we are looking at Meru, we are looking at Kirinyaga, Muranga, Nyeri, and Ndaro on the other side. So it's supposed to be a regional outpost for the surrounding counties. So it's going to be a center whereby from here we can be able to actually run programs in all these other counties rather than run them from Nairobi.
We have come to inaugurate the KIBIT Laikipia Training Center. KIBIT is a national government agency to train on technologies of building, highways and roads generally. And they provide particularly training around labor-based. So for instance, the use of cobblestone technology that you have seen us use effectively here at the old market in Nanyuki, at Weumirerie and in Romuruti. And we want to expand that. So this center here will provide training for thousands of young people in Laikipia, in Meru, in Nyeri, in surrounding counties, to be able to give them the skill set necessary to build roads using labor-based technologies. So we welcome them here. Today's is a brief function to inaugurate the site. The reasonable size piece of land that they will continue to build. As you have seen, they are beneficiaries also of a regional program run by the Ministry of Education with resources borrowed from the World Bank for improving skills for transformation. So that's what we are doing here, and we are very, very happy to welcome KIBIT to Nanyuki and to Laikipia in general. And the center, as I said, will serve the young people and contractors, not just from Laikipia, but from the whole region. What we want to ask our engineers to do, as they design roadways, to remember that the non-motorized traffic is actually higher. So people who are walking, people who are on bicycles, particularly in urban centers, constitute a higher number. Secondly, to remember that the boda has become the main logistics and transport system. In Laikipia, for example, bodas carried fivefold more trips than matatus last year. So as we design roads, we must make sure we are designing roads, providing for walkways and providing for boda to use these spaces. And that is the way we can be more responsive to the customer.